Hey guys, 7 WWE Rocks here, and I am back at it again with a Lucha Underground review. We are, of course, continuing the Cueto Cup. We only had 2 matches from the actual tournament itself for this week's episode, and the main event was none other than Rey Mysterio versus PJ Black as he gets ready for his as Rey Mysterio gets ready for his Lucha Underground Championship match against Johnny Mundo in 4 weeks. So yes, the title of this video is Lucha Underground Review. I have it as Mysterio returns, not because he was away or whatever, but you know how Lucha Underground tapes their episodes, airs them and stuff. We haven't seen Rey Mysterio wrestle. In fact, I believe Matt Striker said during it that Rey Mysterio hadn't last wrestled in Lucha Underground since Aztec Warfare 3, and his injuries after Matanza destroyed him. That's why he hasn't wrestled since then. And I looked it up on Wikipedia. I don't know if it's right because like I said, Lucha Underground tapes their episodes months in advance, so it's all kind of screwed up. But it said it didn't air till November, so that's been a long time. They went on hiatus, but that's been a long time for Rey Mysterio not to have wrestled, which kind of sucks. But we got the Cueto Cup. I haven't been as excited because with shows that tape like this in advance, months in advance, I don't like tournament styles. Like TNA did one for months. They taped tournament matches, and I just didn't enjoy that because you don't get to see the regular champions. You kind of forget Johnny Mundo's the world champion. You forget who the trios tag champs are. You kind of forget about all your favorites just because they're not able to be on week to week. But it was a little better this week. Last week I was really disappointed. I feel like you guys could hear that on the review. But if you are listening, thank you so much. I know my Lucha Underground reviews used to do really well actually for me, which I was really happy about. But since I've returned and started doing it again, not as many people have listened or watched or whatever you want to say. But I don't know if that's just because I'm boring or whatever. But I don't know if that people have just lost faith in Lucha Underground. They haven't really kept up with it. I feel like it has lost a lot of steam. But enough talking. Let's get right into not talking, but enough talking about random stuff. Let's get right into the actual review itself. We kick things off with the Mac versus Tejano in a Cueto Cup semifinals match, I believe is what it was. So basically, it was, I would think, back and forth. Mac did a nice senton to the outside, but not really a lot of exciting stuff happened during this match. Tejano isn't my favorite. I think he has a good look and stuff, and he's good at being that big brute and really get into a bar fight. You're gonna take him seriously, but just for me, he doesn't really excite me that much. And the thing with the Mac, I love the Mac, and I was really glad they gave him that push. But ever since, it just seemed weird how they pushed him. He was going nowhere really. He was a fan favorite, but didn't get a lot of wins. Then all of a sudden, he wins the Battle of the Bulls, tournament. He almost beats Johnny Mundo twice on 2 different episodes for the World Championship. And then all of a sudden, it seems like he's back to losing again. And that's what happened. During this match, Famous B, who's been trying to recruit Tejano for his group or his agency, since he's trying to represent all these wrestlers, he distracts Mac. The Mac hits a Stone Cold Stunner on him, knocks out Famous B, but that leads to Tejano just powerbombing the Mac to get the 1, 2, 3. So the Mac doesn't move on, which I don't really like that, honestly. Because I don't care for the Tejano that much. But since I guess it progresses his storyline with Famous B, I guess he should be the one that moves on. So Tejano moves on. Son of Havoc was drinking at a bar, a backstage segment, and Son of Madness showed up, the other dude in the biker gang. I hate this storyline as well. I really don't care about this. Son of Havoc, I think, was awesome character when it was him, Angelico, and Ivelisse. That was it, right? Yeah, it was Angelico. I know it was Ivelisse, but I guess it was Angelico. The trios thing was amazing, and then he gets a singles push, and he almost has it. He just is about to get a big main event status thing, and then it falls apart for him. But he's always that feel good character, the guy that people can get behind, the underdog. And this storyline I just could care less about, and I don't think it's going anywhere. But basically, Son of Madness says to him, "You're gonna have to come back to our biker gang." I think he called them the Invisible Cult or something. And he's like, "You're gonna have to, what happened. So obviously something bad happened, and you're gonna have to come back and talk things out." And they kind of wrestle Like, not like a straight up bar fight. They just like started grappling a chain, doing holds and stuff. And I was like, this is really stupid. Stuff like that on Lucha Underground, I really don't like. Like backstage wise, when they do these technical things, and then they do like the freaking, you know, random Japanese like sounds, like all this stuff, and it's just really weird. If you watched it, I think you'd get what I mean. But so basically, Madness leaves, and Son of Havoc like breaks the furniture and starts throwing chairs and throwing glasses and stuff. I don't know, it's stupid. Next, it gets a little stupider. It gets more dumb, but in a funnier way. So we see backstage after that the Rabbit Tribe with Paul London and the guy that wears like the mask playing checkers, but they're not playing on a checker table or like just a regular table. They're playing on that dude that's like black and white checkers all over his body. They're using that as the board. I like the Rabbit Tribe style, but Paul London wins the checkers match, if anybody was wondering. And Masquerita, the little dude, the little midget wrestler, who like the Rabbit Tribe have been following and like worshiping because they think he's a rabbit. He comes up to them. He has like this big present for him, and he leaves. And so they read the card, and the card says like something along the lines of, hopefully this gives you better luck next time or something, because the Rabbit Tribe were all unsuccessful in the Cueto Cup. None of them moved on to continue in the Cueto Cup. So they open the box. It's a bunch of packing peanuts. They're throwing. It's this huge box. They're throwing all these packing peanuts. Paul London's like laughing maniacally. It's really weird. And then they get to the bottom of it, and it's literally just a rabbit's foot. And they all scream in union because, I guess, because they worship rabbits, and he gave them a rabbit foot. But it's supposed to wish them luck. But I don't know. It's weird, but I love Paul London and these guys. So moving on, Pentagon Jr. or Pentagon Dark versus Drago in a Cueto Cup match, Cueto Cup, you know, tournament match. And so the match was back and forth. I would say 60-40 Pentagon Dark. It wasn't half and half, I would say, but it went back and forth. Nothing like too crazy, but they were just doing feel out process at the beginning. And then Pentagon, basically I'll get to the end because that's when crazy stuff starts to happen. So Pentagon Jr. gets on the top rope, or the second rope, and does the Canadian Destroyer, and that gets a 2 count, which I was really shocked by. I thought that was the finish. And then later he gets all wrapped up in the ropes on the top rope, picks him up for a package pile driver, and that's how he ends it. So a Canadian Destroyer followed by a package pile driver. I mean, that's a pretty gruesome way to just destroy your opponent. So he looks to break Drago's arm after the match because that's what Pentagon Dark does. Cobra Moon goes in the ring to stop him because she's aligned with Drago. He super kicks the crap out of Cobra Moon, knocking her out. And he goes back to Drago to break his arm. Aerostar makes the save. So even though Drago turned on Aerostar, Aerostar is still his friend and still wants to break him out from that Cobra Moon like spell that she has on him. And so he makes the save. He kicks Pentagon Jr. out of the way. And they like do a little, not like embrace, but like he's like, Aerostar's pretty much like, I got you, bro. You know, we're good. Drago, he kicks him a few times. He turns on him, does like a pile driver thing. And Drago turns on the guy that saves him. And he leaves the ring as Pentagon Jr. watches. And Pentagon Jr. breaks Aerostar's arm. So Matt Striker was freaking out and saying Aerostar shouldn't put his nose into Pentagon Dark's business. Which is kind of stupid because it is kind of his business, but whatever. Basically, Aerostar gets his arm broken, so that sucks. Pentagon Jr., Pentagon Dark, whatever you want to call him, is walking down the hallway, and he's stopped by Katrina, who says, basically, Mil Muertes doesn't forget anybody that messes with him or screws with him. And she touches Pentagon Dark's head, and, like, he gets flashbacks of what happened. And basically, it was Pentagon Jr. hit, I guess it was some, like, elimination-style match or something from, like, a long time ago. But basically, Pentagon Jr. beat the crap out of Mil Muertes. He gets him eliminated, and I don't remember this at all. So I'm like, wow, this must have been a long time ago because I don't remember at all. And I think that's kind of weird that Pentagon Jr. would screw Mil Muertes, and they're just getting to it now. But apparently Mil Muertes never forgets, so that's why. So I've always wanted to see, because I believe when it happened, I was excited to see Pentagon Dark versus Mil Muertes in a feud, but I don't think it ever just happened. Maybe they had a match or something, but I'm hoping it really leads to something big because I love Mil Muertes and Pentagon Dark, obviously I love. So we'll see what happens. but she like disappeared all creepily. And then next we have the main event, Mysterio versus PJ Black. And this is supposed to the main event, and it was supposed to be like, I guess, Mysterio. You know, if you thought PJ Black was going to win, how adorable. But we all knew this was Mysterio, of course, moving on, beating PJ Black to face Johnny Mundo in 4 weeks. They really put over 4 weeks. I think they want us to really know when the World Championship match is happening between Johnny Mundo and Rey Mysterio. So basically, nothing too special. Rey Mysterio did an amazing springboard moonsault on the outside. Oh, it looked so good. It looked perfect, perfect Mysterio. So it was, back and forth. I would again say it was 60-40 Mysterio probably. But a cool part of the match was when Mysterio had PJ Black on the top rope. He went for like a Frankenstein or Hurricanrana. And PJ Black like rolled with them and then picked up Mysterio and did a Styles Clash. So I believe I've seen PJ Black do a Styles Clash before on the independent scene, but I don't know. It just surprised me that PJ Black would do that. But it got a 2 count, and freaking Styles Clash should always get that 3 count. WWE screwed that up, but still, Styles Clash always should be the 3 count. So Mysterio goes for another moonsault, this time in the ring, and PJ Black catches him for like a power slam position. Mysterio rolls out of it with a DDT, but his legs hit the ref, knocking him out. So PJ Black, of course, is aligned with the Worldwide Underground, so it's about to go down, and that's exactly what happened. Johnny Mundo came out. He faked Mysterio out because Mysterio didn't realize the ref was knocked out. So when he went for the pin, Mundo slides in, hits 1, hits 2, and stops. And Mysterio's like, what are you doing? He super kicks Mysterio, beats the crap out of him. They're beating the crap out of him. Then PJ Black not Angelico, Jack Evans, they come in. So PJ and Mundo lift Mysterio up for a suplex. Jack Evans super kicks him in the face. They drop him off the suplex. And finally, Dragon Azteca Jr., he shows up, and I'm like, why did it take you this long? They did this big move on him, and yet it took you that long. But finally, he comes out. He starts beating the crap out of him. Taya comes out. She grabs him, so he won't be in the way anymore. But he ends up grabbing a chair and running off the Worldwide Underground. And so that goes for the pin after the Worldwide Underground beat the crap out of him. Gets the 1. The ref's groggy. He gets a slow 2. Goes for the 3, and Mysterio kicks out. So PJ Black's got to pick him up, go for a razor edge powerbomb, but as he tries to throw him to the ground, Mysterio gets him in that Hurricanrana that flips him in the middle ropes, hits the 619, gets the big splash, and he gets the 1, 2, 3. So, of course, Rey Mysterio gets the win, and he cuts a promo at the end saying, Johnny Mundo, you can't run forever, and in 4 because not just for myself, but for all the fans in the temple. So happy ending, yippee. Rey Mysterio gets the win. Good episode. Again, I'm waiting I'm waiting to see how I enjoy it when the tournament's over and they just get back to the storylines. If you've listened to my reviews, I haven't been the biggest fan of this tournament just because, like I said at the beginning, I don't really care for tape shows. So we'll see, when the tournament ends, where we go from here. And I'm hoping Mysterio and Mundo is a really, really good match because they've really hyped it up. I mean, they should have. They should have been hyping it up, but they've really, really hyped it up, so it should be really good. So thank you so much for listening to my review. I know I kind of went on and on at the beginning. It should have been a short review, honestly, because not much happened. Match-wise, it was kind of just everything after the matches happened. But thank you so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 7WWE-Rocks if you're interested. If you're enjoying these, reviews or you're listening, you just haven't been commenting, please just send me a comment or something just so I know people maybe are enjoying this and want to see more of my reviews and such for Lucha Underground. For my channel, personally, I will say, comment-wise, I usually like comments the most. I like to see a bunch of likes, but I'm never going to get a crap load of likes. So I like to see comments, people interacting. And it's really, really slowed down on my channel, honestly. So it's been really disappointing. Not just because I want, people comments, but I really enjoy making the videos and I want to hear wrestling fans talking with each other. So definitely send a comment or something, post a comment. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this Lucha Underground review. Let me know what you thought of the show if you watched it. And once again, just thank you so much for listening. And as always, have a great day.